Hi everyone, Rachel Flint here. Thank you for joining me for day 4 of 42 days of pizza. I'm just going off the cuff on this one. Sometimes I have a few notes of topics that I want to make sure I don't forget. I have some questions that people have submitted to me that I want to make sure I address. And the rest of it, I'm just going to talk to you about how things are going so far. I woke up this morning and weighed, and I had an initial weight gain because I've been hitting the weight training pretty hard the last few days, except for Sunday. Sunday is my rest day, but actually Saturday usually is also, but I had missed my sprints on Friday, so I did sprints on Saturday, nothing on Sunday. So it's been kind of interesting to see the weight fluctuation. My weight fluctuates a lot anyway, which I addressed in the last vlog, but anyway, I'm continuing to take daily photos, and I originally said I was going to post the daily photos on social media, but truth is it's going to clog up my Facebook page and my Instagram. So they will be on my website every day, and then I will share them on Instagram and Facebook just once a week. So if you'd like to see the daily photos, to see day 1 versus whatever the current day is, just log in to fitlikeflint.com or 42daysofpizza.com to check out those photos. And otherwise, just check out my social media account, and I'll be posting those on Fridays because that's last Friday is the day I started this challenge. So anyway, I picked the worst time ever to start this challenge, just to be completely honest with you guys. This August has been by far the craziest month in years. It's the busiest month that Fit Like Flint has ever had. We're launching some really big stuff this month. My Battle Body program is released on September 2nd. I have my fall apparel release. We are launching a subscription box service, so getting all of that, getting geared up for all of that, plus my grandmother passed away at the beginning of the month. We went to Tucson for an unexpected trip the following week, and so it has just been one thing after another, and that's like, I've gotten to the point where emotional eating is not really a big problem for me, but what I haven't expected is being so busy that I forget to eat. That never happens. That never happens to me. I am always ready to eat again, but I have had my to-do list of 20 plus items every day, and so there's been several days where I get to, it's now like 11:20 and I'm still several hundred calories behind. So, but I'm committed to showing you guys that, and maybe it works out for the best, because truly I'm catching up on all my calories at night when you're not supposed to. You're either, some of the advice out there is that you're either not supposed to eat after within 3 hours of bedtime, or that you're not supposed to eat carbs at night. I'm doing all that. I'm breaking all the rules. And so you'll be able to see that, and I'm not doing the 6 small meals throughout the day that are evenly spaced. I think it's all hogwash. Now, I will say, if you are doing competition prep or something along those lines, the rules are a little bit different. But for what I'm doing, anything goes. As long as you get your macros in and are meeting your targets for the day, then you're good. So I'll be catching up as soon as I finish this vlog. So I'll be pigging out probably. But anyway, so okay. So a couple of the questions that I've been getting are, here we go. How active am I throughout the rest of my day? Which is an excellent question, because that can really skew things. My lifestyle, as busy as I am, we live in a very tiny home, no upstairs, no downstairs. Our house is only like 1,000 square feet, and we're here at the house for the most part. My youngest child is 2 now, so I don't have to pick him up all the time. So I would say lightly active is probably the best way to categorize, because I'm on the computer a lot. I'm on my phone a lot. And most of what I do, I do a lot of sitting and standing, but it's really fairly sedentary for the most part. So that was a really good question. Another one that I got was asking what my calorie intake is per day, and I'm going to start putting my food intake in the blog on the website so that you guys can see, and it's not going to be by meal 1, meal 2, because like I said, I really don't think that matters, and a lot of it ends up being towards the end of the day. So I'm just going to put what my total food intake was for that day and what the total calories and fats, carbs, and proteins were. So right now I have my total calorie intake at 1650, and I'm going to stick with that for a couple of weeks because so many times we start off with some numbers that we feel pretty good about, and when we don't see those instant results, or within a day or two, we start second guessing ourselves. So I try to stick with the numbers that I set that I'm pretty confident will work. I try to give it 2 weeks before I change them. So I set it at 1650. My macro split was also, someone else also asked what my macro split is, and right now I'm doing 30% protein and 35% each on fats and carbs. During my first round of Battle Body, I was only at 20% protein, believe it or not. I put it really low just because I wanted to see how my body responded, to see if I would lose muscle or if I would gain muscle, just to kind of see how things went, because given to my own devices, if I'm not tracking, my protein's pretty low. So I wanted to see if I just put it there intentionally, what would happen. And I actually did gain muscle during that 8 weeks. I gained a pound or 2 of muscle, and aesthetically I could see really big changes. So even though I think it kind of repositioned itself somewhat. So so there's my macro split, my target calories, and I mentioned yesterday, but I know all of you are not going to see every single one of these videos. So I'm 5'7", and my current weight as of this morning was like 143.5, I think. So that's my split. Now, I will say that somebody else with a different body type, I'm an endomorph, somebody else with a different body type, either a meso or an ecto, that may also be 5'7" and also be 143 pounds or so, might need completely different calorie intake, might need a completely different macro split. So you have to kind of play around with it to see what works best for you. I went for years thinking that I was carb sensitive and that I wasn't going to be, that I was doomed to a low carb lifestyle. And even when I got real serious a couple months ago, I tried to do low carb, and it's for the birds as far as I'm concerned. It works really well for some people, but for me, I'm not as carb sensitive as I thought, which is a wonderful thing because I love me some carbs. So it's been really interesting to play around with those percentages, and I'm more likely to play around with the percentages before I take away any overall calories. So if you are stuck, I would suggest playing around with that first before you eat less food. Okay, so let me see what other questions I need to address here. Do I drink coffee or take caffeine pills? I do have like 1 cup of coffee each morning with full fat creamer, like heavy whipping cream, and that's usually about it. That's all I really need to get me going. I do not take fat burners, with the exception of there are some natural fat burners like L-carnitine and CLA that I do take. However, as of this challenge, I am not taking them. I may at some point during the challenge, and if I do, I will let you all know, because that can certainly affect the overall progress. But I want you to see what can happen with just food. So other than a protein powder and a pre-workout and BCAAs, which help with muscle repair and recovery, and then a multivitamin just to make sure my body's getting what it needs, and probiotics because my body really needs the probiotics. So that's pretty much all I'm taking. And if I decide to add anything in, I'll be sure to let you all know, because I think that I'm really open and honest about those kinds of things. So that's it for now. Under normal circumstances, there's a whole laundry list of stuff that I usually take just to make sure, because as an endomorph, I'm kind of fighting an uphill battle. And so I want to make sure that I give my body every advantage that I can. Let's see. How many meals do I eat a day? It varies. I don't even count the meals really. It usually ends up being 4 or 5. What time of day am I eating the pizza is a great question. Usually for dinner, but then my children want to eat pizza every day for dinner. So today I had it for lunch, and I just had cold pizza when they weren't looking, and they were kind of bummed when they found out we weren't having pizza for dinner again, because I've kind of let them do it with me for a couple days, but I don't want them to get burnt out on it, so I'm not going to let them do it with me every day. Okay, that's the majority of the questions, and we're already at 11 minutes, so I'm going to call it good. Thank you so much again for joining me for this vlog. I really appreciate, like I said yesterday, I really appreciate your interest in this topic. I think it's a really important thing to show you guys that you can fit this kind of stuff in and still make progress. And I went and had an awesome workout today. I did chest and triceps from the Battle Body program, and because I have a photo shoot coming up, I added in a little bit of abs and a little bit of glutes, but still made it fit in that same 30-minute time frame, and then I did 15 minutes of sprints afterwards. Today I didn't do sprints for a few weeks while we were during the time that we had the funeral and we were traveling and stuff. So I've lost some of my progress there, but I did 3 sprints at 10 miles per hour, and then I did 3 at 12 miles per hour. So still pretty good, but I was doing them at 12.4, which is the max that the treadmill goes at my gym. So I'm gonna try to get back up to that within the next week. But that's it. Great workout, and now I have some eating to do. So catch up with me on Snapchat. You can find me, my username is Fit Like Flint on there, and on Instagram. Or you can find me on Facebook, and it is also Fit Like Flint, but it has the spaces on Facebook. So if you have any questions, hit me up on one of those sites or apps or